Miles Library. I wanted to share with you guys tonight some of the books that I received this gift giving season. In our family, we do gift giving a little earlier in December this time of year, and my husband gifted me with all kinds of really cool bookish things. It was super fun. So I thought that you guys would like to see these, so let's get into it. First of all, I'll share the non-book but sort of bookishy things. He knows that I love to do junk journaling, paper crafts, gifts for people involving paper, whatever. So he got me all of these really pretty papers that are kind of like wallpaper-ish. I don't know, like I would love to have every one of these as a wallpaper, especially that one. Isn't that gorgeous? So he got me these pretty papers to do some paper crafts and junk journaling with. And then he got me these larger ones, same deal. So there's all these pinks. Usually I'm in my pink room, right, filming this, and so you guys know I love pink. All these pretty different designs here. And then since we were very first married, he has always got me a calendar. He got me a calendar for our first Christmas together back in '98. And every year since then, he has always bought me a calendar for whatever gift giving thing we're doing in December. And so he got me this one. It's a book lover's calendar. And there's all these different neat paintings of different bookish scenes. So I'm pretty sure he got this at Barnes & Noble. I love it. And then he got me a bunch of pretty washi tape. So I love to write letters and decorate them. So he got me all this pretty winter scene washi tape. And this fun coloring book. So sometimes when I am listening to booktube videos, I like to color. It's just kind of a relaxing thing. And or if I'm listening to an audiobook or whatever, sometimes I will just do this like to de-stress. And so he got me this really pretty one, Walk in the Woods. So that's really special. We live in I was gonna say, we live in a really forested part of our town, and there is forest all around us, and I just actually heard something out there. So, hello, forest animal. I am up a couple stories on this porch, so that's a good thing. All right, and then I got all of these wonderful books, so we'll go through them. First of all, Jane Austen at Home from Lucy Worsley. I love watching Lucy Worsley, but I've never actually read anything that she's done yet, so this is a perfect book for my Jane Austen collection, and just, you know, to get a feel for Lucy Worsley as a writer. Looking forward to that. Secondly, this book called Mudlark River. So I read a book on mudlarking a few years ago. Oh, is her name Laura? I can't remember who wrote the mudlarking book called Mudlarking. Anyway, and talked all about how she would go out mudlarking on the Thames. She's got an Instagram, you know, she's got Facebook, whatever. She's kind of the big mudlarking lady out there. But other people have also written about their mudlarking experiences. This one is by Simon Wilcox, and I think this is a really fun idea. There's not a lot of places here for mudlarking, in the sense of maybe like a tide going out and in and out and in and leaving things. But about a year or so ago, the lake across the street, they had to drain it for, I think they were making repairs on people's docks, you know, because there's a bunch of houses around the lake. And so they kind of scheduled to lower the water level in the lake so that anybody who needed dock repairs or to put a dock in or whatever kind of things that they needed to do, that they all could kind of schedule it for that time, get them all done. They had like, you know, a few weeks, and then they would raise the lake back up again. So during that time, the lake was very low, and my daughter and I actually went out there mudlarking a little ways. It was pretty swampy, so we didn't go out too far because she's kind of little. But we found golf balls. We live in a retirement community, lots of golfers, so there's lots of golf balls out there. We found some shells. What else did we find? I'm thinking she found even a little toy, but I can't remember what it was. But it was a fun experience for her because I got to tell her about mudlarking and mudlarking on the Thames, and you know how this is a fun thing to do if you live near, you know, a seashore. Like when we were up in Northwest Washington, we would always go out on the islands, and we could collect sea glass and other neat things that has washed up on shore. So anyway, love this idea of mudlarking. Apparently you can go to London as a tourist and pay to do mudlarking there. I don't really know all the ins and outs with that, but that would be kind of fun, I think, and also kind of scary, so I don't know if I would do it, but it sounds like fun. All right, next up was Elizabeth Gaskell's Gothic Tales. So here's the story with this. I was watching, I think Books and Things was talking about Elizabeth Gaskell and how she's really readable, someone she really loves to read. And I was thinking about when I tried to read Cranford, and then Mary Barton. And both of those I really struggled with. Those was way back in the day. I think that I had just kind of a real jump in reading comprehension in my early 30s, and this was before that, and so I struggled with them. The only thing that I've read from Elizabeth Gaskell and really understood at the reading comprehension level that I was at was her biography of Charlotte Bronte. And Charlotte's not really my favorite sister anyway, and so anyway, I just didn't have like the most agreeable feeling or idea about Elizabeth Gaskell. But after watching several of Katie's videos on Books and Things and hearing all the great things she has to say, I decided, okay, I'm going to pick up something else from Elizabeth Gaskell. And so I went through her list to figure out what it is that I wanted to read, and I saw that she had a book of Gothic tales. And I was like, that is super atmospheric for this time of year. I like reading Gothic stories, and so I figured, okay, that's the one I will try. So I put it on my wish list, and sure enough, my husband got it for me. I'm really excited I'm probably actually going to set aside my current read and start reading some of this tonight. Currently I'm reading Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, and I might just have to put that away and start some of this Gothic tales. All right, and then something else that he got me several nights ago. This is Emily Bronte's Complete Poems, and this was like #1 on my wish list. I was so excited to get this. I'm going through it slowly. I'm just reading a poem a night. Sometimes I will read through the poem a couple of times in the night. Sometimes I will read it a couple of nights in a row, but I'm really trying to absorb who she is and what she was saying in this book of poetry. Emily Bronte is by far my favorite author, top of the list. And I think I didn't realize how much poetry she actually had published. And so I was super excited to see this. And I think actually Books and Things might have mentioned this as well, which caused me to go looking and putting it on my list. But this was just really a blessing to get. So super excited about that. And kind of excited that these are from the same collection. So I have a few more from that collection too. All right, and then the last book, it's so beautiful. This copy of Little Women. I love these children classic copies. We get them at Barnes & Noble, and I already have Wuthering Heights. And so he, I guess, went with one of my daughters, and when he was getting my calendar, looked through these and spent a lot of time trying to decide which one to get. He said he almost picked up Wuthering Heights because he knows that that's my favorite story, but he didn't realize that I had this copy of it. But he ended up settling on Little Women, which was that daughter's favorite story and is one of my mother's favorite stories. And so I'm really thankful, of course, that he didn't pick up Wuthering Heights, because now I have a second book to add to my pretty book collection. And I do want to collect all of these. They just feel nice. The cover is kind of an embossed, it's like raised, and then it just feels good, and it's heavy. It's got this pretty gold, and I just love it. So it is the first part of Little Women. If you are familiar with the story, you know that it's actually was published in 2 parts, and so a lot of copies of Little Women only have that first part, and it ends with sort of an invitation to the reader to give feedback. So the curtain falls upon Meg, Jo, Beth, and Amy. Whether it ever rises again depends upon the reception given the first act of the domestic drama called Little Women. So it's an invitation to give her some feedback so she will know whether or not she should publish part 2, which of course she did. But this is part 1, and I just think it is so pretty. The other thing that's really special is in every one of these, my husband wrote a little message in the front cover for me of just a blessing and you know, just to tell me he loves me. And then I'm special to him, and that just means a lot to me. It is such a treat when I'm out booklarking, which I like to call my book hunting. When I'm out booklarking and I find a book that has a dedication in the front from someone, you know, and they gift this book to them. Usually it is on Christmas, or sometimes it's like, you know, you had perfect attendance at Sunday school or something, and so I'm giving you this book, that it would have, you know, to whoever, from whoever, and the date, and just a little message. And I just think that is so special and sweet and personal, and so it means a lot to me that my husband writes in my books for me. So that is it, guys. That is my kind of my Gifty book haul for December. I am set for a while with some really special books. So I will be sure and keep you updated on how all of this reading goes for me. All right, I hope everybody's having a great day. I would love to hear about your book hauls for the month. If you have acquired any new reads, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, have a beautiful day. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.